Good evening, everyone. Namaskar. On behalf of ICSI, ICS Suresh Pandey, Council member of ICSI, welcoming you all in today's webinar on very important topic for us as a country. So today we will discuss about Viksit Bharat 2047 and role of company secretary. In today's webinar, we have with us Shri Surendra Nath Tripathi ji. Surendra Nath Tripathi ji is a retired IAS officer, and he is from 1985 batch of IAS from Odisha batch, and he is very senior officer, and presently sir is handling the position of Director General, Indian Institute of Public Administration. So sir is working still with government, and before joining civil services, he was teaching at Allahabad University. When we discuss about his academic background, he is an MA in political science from Allahabad University and MBA in public policy from Slovenia. He is highly seasoned civil servant with a true academic flavor. Before joining IAS, I previously mentioned he had been lecturing in Allahabad University and working through a banking assignment. He took over charge of DG IIPA in April 2019, while he was still holding the charge of Secretary, Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, Government of India. And before that, he was associated with many government departments and with national level and state level. So thank you very much, sir, for being with us and sparing your valuable time with us. And our second eminent speaker and eminent faculty with us, Shri Gopal Krishna Agarwal ji. And Gopal Krishna Agarwal ji is spokesperson of Economic Affairs BJP, and he is national spokesperson rather of Economic Affairs. He is fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is an economic thinker, you can say, and writing extensively for newspapers, financial journals, delivering lectures at various seminars and conferences. He is trustee and treasurer of Indian Policy Foundation, IPF, and Dr. Mukherjee Smriti Nyas. He is an independent director on the board of many PSU, and sir is associated with our profession also. He is former Central Council member of ICSI also, nominated by Government of India. Thank you so much, Gopalji, for sparing your valuable time with us. And on Gopalji, we have a right anytime we can call him, and he is always available for the profession. And I know him personally also, and he is driving you can say a revolution for the flat buyers at Noida, Uttar Pradesh, and he is fighting for their rights and writing many papers on them, at doing a great social work for the flat buyers. So thank you very much once again, Gopalji. And today we have with us CS Dhananjay Shukla ji, who is Vice President of ICSI, and sir is our we are discussing, when we were planning this webinar, so we were discussing what should be the topic of the upcoming webinar. So he suggested the idea that we should do something Viksit Bharat. And as you all know, friends, we all are passing through the era of Amrit Kal, and this Amrit Kal era was basically introduced by our honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji. The Amrit Kal, or you can say the era of elixir, when I was listening his speech, so Narendra Modi ji has mentioned कि when you see history of any country, जब हम किसी देश का इतिहास देखते हैं तो उस देश में ऐसा एक समय आता है जब वो देश अपनी ग्रोथ को मल्टीपल करता है. देयर इज रैपिड ग्रोथ. सो ही इज like give he has provided this concept and to develop our nation in upcoming 25 years. And like as a company secretary, we should become part of this Amrit Kal. So we need to identify कि जब हम अपने प्रोफेशन में काम करें, हम अपने बारे में सोचें, हम एज अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी परफॉर्म करें, तो हम ये समझ पाए, हम सोच पाए कि ये अगले आने वाले 25 साल कैसे हमारे प्रोफेशन के लिए हम लोग काम कर सकते हैं, कैसे हम अपने देश को डेवलप नेशन बनाने के लिए काम कर सकते हैं. ऑन दिस आइडिया वी ऑल शुड वर्क. और व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट अबाउट अमृत काल, तो अमृत काल का मतलब यह है कि जो आने वाले 25 साल हमारे देश के पास हैं, इन 25 सालों में हम देश को कैसे विकसित करें. और उसका आइडिया भी हमें हमारे ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर की तरफ से मिला, जिसको लाइक ही गिवन द नेम ऑफ 5 fundamental of the Amrit Kal, or you can say Panch Pran of 5, basically 5 Panch Pran of the Amrit Kal. तो उस 5 पंच प्राण में सबसे पहला जो उन्होंने हमें लक्ष्य दिया वो है विकसित भारत का लक्ष्य. मीन्स एम फॉर डेवलप्ड इंडिया, एलिमिनेशन ऑफ कॉलोनियल माइंड सेट. मतलब जो गुलामी हमने बहुत लंबे समय तक झेली, 200 साल की जो कॉलोनी हम रहे ब्रिटिश की बन के, उससे जो हमारी एक सोच डेवलप हुई, तो उसकी गुलामी के हर अंश को हम खत्म कर पाए, वो हमारा पंच प्राण का एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. और उसके बाद हम अपनी विरासत पे, अपने अपने रूट्स पे बेसिकली हम गर्व महसूस कर पाए. ऑनर एंड प्राइड इन आवर रूट्स is the third panch pran as per the honorable prime minister. And fourth, development of unity, मतलब एकता और एकजुटता जो है वो पांचवा, वो 5 पंच प्राण में से चौथा पड़ाव होगा. और सेंस ऑफ ड्यूटी अमंग द सिटीजन, मतलब कि अगर आप रेड लाइट पे खड़े हैं और वहां पे कोई पुलिस ऑफिसर नहीं खड़ा, तब भी आप रेड लाइट ना जंप करें. ये सेंस, ये ड्यूटी हमारे बीच में होनी चाहिए. एंड इफ यू आर वर्किंग एज ए कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, तो इस निष्ठा से, इस लगन से, इस सेवा भावना से हम काम करें कि जब हमारा काम हमारे देश में या विदेश में जाए और उस पर ये लिखा हो कि एक कंपनी सेक्रेटरी ने इस काम को किया है, तो सामने वाला ये अपने मन से सभी चिंताओं को निकाल दे कि कंपनी सेक्रेटरी के काम करने के बाद हमें इस डॉक्यूमेंट को देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो वो ट्रस्ट हम डेवलप कर पाए. तो जब हम इस तरीके से काम करेंगे, सेवा से, निष्ठा से काम करेंगे, तो आई थिंक हम इस विकसित भारत की ओर आगे बढ़ पाएंगे. और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने ये भी कहा कि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है विकसित भारत के लिए हम लोग एज प्रोफेशनल क्या कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं. तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो उनका मैसेज था, इट वाज शेयर योर आइडियाज विद द गवर्नमेंट. एंड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ICSI, आई रिक्वेस्ट each and every member to share your ideas how a company secretary can work for developed nation, how a professional can work for a developed nation, and how we can implement the idea given by you. So your idea is very important, and I request each and every member to please share your ideas for the developed nation and how as a company secretary we can contribute in that idea. So before starting our today's webinar, I request CS Dhananjay Shukla ji, Vice President of ICSI, to give introductory remark. Please, sir.
Thank you, Suresh ji. Good afternoon to all of you. Sri Surendranath Tripathi ji, Director General, Indian Institute of Public Administration, New Delhi. Sri Gopal Krishna Agrawal ji, a very renowned chartered accountant, a very effective voice on economic affairs as a spokesperson for the BJP. We share a very long rapport with Gopal ji as an institution, ICSI. And I remember that when I was chairman NIS in 2017, I had a privilege to invite him in one of the program at Air Force Auditorium, Subrato Park. My learned council colleague, Suresh Pandey, learned professionals, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed my proud privilege to welcome all of you to this webinar organized by the ICSI on the theme Viksit Bharat 2047, role of company secretaries. Uh, uh, as rightly Suresh said, that this concept of Viksit Bharat emanated from the address of our beloved Prime Minister from the Prachir of the Red Fort on the 15th of August 2022. And he mentioned about the Panch Prad, five vows, and out of those five vows, he very effectively stressed upon the idea of the Viksit Bharat, a developed nation, a developed India by 2047. हमारे यहाँ ये परंपरा रही है सुरेश भाई की हमारे यहाँ शास्त्रों में कहा गया कि सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया ओम सर्व ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुख भाग भवेत्। तो हम इस आशा और विश्वास के साथ जो है ये पीस मंत्रा को जीते हैं कि एक ऐसी व्यवस्था, एक ऐसा देश जिसमें सभी सुखी हो, सभी निरोग हो और हर चीज को हम राइटियसनेस की भाव से देखें। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का ऐसा ही भाव रहा है। And when I look upon the ICSI, that the role it has been very effectively playing in the field of the corporate governance. So I would like to recall one of the messages which Prime Minister gave very recently while launching the Viksit Bharat 2047 Voice of Youth. He said that the emphasis has to be on the economic development, social progress, environmental sustainability, and the governance. So far as governance is concerned, we as an institution, ICICI has been playing very effective role in the field of corporate governance, and it is one of our, motto that which has been inculcated in 2017, that the Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara, speak the truth, abide by the law. So as a corporate governance professional, when we work in the field of, when we provide services to the corporates, we have been emphasizing on the need that as a company secretary, we should always endeavor that the corporate comply the law of the land in letter as well as a spirit. I would also like to recall one of the messages that Swami Vivekananda gave. Every nation has a message to deliver, a mission to fulfill, and a destiny to reach. And you might be recalling that how India, in fact, positioned itself and how it handled very effectively during the Corona call by not helping ourselves, but also helping the other countries in the world. So we have positioned in a way that wherein we can very effectively, we are in the process of being the Vishwaguru. And I'm sure that the 21st century will be the India's century. And as the country pole vaults into the future, confident of its capabilities, today India is the fifth largest economy in the world. It is estimated to be the third largest economy in terms of GDP. If it crosses, 5 trillion by 2027, and poised to be the US dollar 30 trillion economy by 2047. So the vision of Viksit Bharat is that of a prosperous Bharat in harmony with the modern infrastructure, environmental sustainability, social harmony, and giving opportunity to one and all, wherein everyone grows, everyone prospers. Friends, the need of inclusive welfare policy, a sound taxation policy, and a minimum regulatory policy finds mention across the various ancient texts like in Kautilya's Arthashastra, Mahabharata, and also Tirukural by Tiruvalurji. The vision for Viksit Bharat shall be dotted with similar initiatives that are directed towards minimal human intervention and limited room for discretion to increase transparency and accountability. We at ICSI endeavors to continuously support in all the initiative of the government of India. The ICSI and the company secretaries are working and contributing to the ease of doing business continuously. The initiative of the government, MCA is in the process of amending the various rules of the Company Act 2013. And Suresh Bhai, you might be recalling that you were also one of the chief of the subcommittee wherein we had formed 9 committees, and we have provided our suggestion to the MCA, suggesting the various amendments in the rules of the Companies Act 2013. Also, we are playing the similar duties with the SEBI and the other regulators. So it has been our endeavor at the ICSI to play a very effective role in the governance framework of the country, and we will continue to play that role in times to come also. Company secretary play a vital role in ensuring good governance, as I said, in the corporate. Very recently, our role has been very effectively poised that therein company secretary with their skills and expertise provide complete solution to MSMEs, startups, entrepreneurs, and other sectors of the economy in their incorporation, funding, compliance, and the governance related needs. Then we are also playing a very effective role in the field of compliance and ethical conduct. We as a company secretary are the guardians of the compliances, uh, uh, ensuring companies that they should adhere to the regulation and ethical standards. This fosters transparency, accountability, and it minimizes the legal and reputational risks. We are also providing solutions as a strategic, guide. We provide a strategic guidance to companies on matters related to corporate governance, risk management, and sustainability. As I said, that environmental sustainability and other sustainability is also one of the biggest aspect of this governance. So this ensures companies operate responsibly and effectively contribute to the society's societal growth. Then we are also trying for the other stakeholder engagement. We facilitate effective communication and engagement between companies and their stakeholders, fostering trust and collaboration. This contributes to inclusive growth and responsible business practices. Friends, towards transparent, accountable, people-centric, and prompt trust-based administration with minimum government and maximum governance approach, the role of company secretaries as governance professionals is bound to stand enhanced in times to come. The mantra of the government has been for the last 9.5 years, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Then it was further enhanced to Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka Viswas. Now it has been one more feathers has been added, Sabka Prayas. So as we move forward, we need to ask questions like that: what should be the shape and architecture of the corporate governance framework by 2047? Secondly, what should be the strategy to achieve this futuristic objective as India reaches 2047? Then third, what should be our strategy to impart knowledge-based skills? How ICSI and company secretaries can further contribute to the agenda of Viksit Bharat. So Suresh bhai, you rightly requested Tripathi ji that our very distinguished learned speaker should also focus on the role of the professional in times to come, while ensuring that our journey continues to be the one of the big facilitator as a professional, as an one of the big institution in the country, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, in promoting corporate governance, and then also being the effective partner in the development of the nation. Agrawal Sahab, Tripathi ji, I would like to mention one of the provision under the Companies Act 2013. Section 205, which very effectively say that the company secretary, while performing its role, shall report to the board of the directors about the status of the compliances of the Companies Act 2013 and also about the various laws applicable to the company. So we at ICSI has been always advocating this fact that the company secretary had to guide the board not only about the compliances of the Companies Act 2013, but also about the other laws applicable to the company. So it is the role of the company secretary to guide the senior management and to the board that what laws are applicable to the company. And then in turn, the board of directors of the company had to devise a suitable compliance management. So we at the ICSI had been trying our best that there should be a culture of the very good corporate governance framework. The companies, the corporates would comply the law of the land in later as well as the spirit. And in the process, we should be very effectively playing a role of a facilitator, as a strategist, as a company secretary, as a consultant in the development of the nation. We are privileged to have you, Tripathi sir. A big round of applause for you from our side. Agrawal Saab has been our Central Council member, government nominee for quite long time. We share a very long association, as I said initially. So I'm sure that with the great knowledge of both of you distinguished speakers, our members who have joined this seminar webinar virtually would be greatly benefited. And we look forward to our association in future as well. And we look forward that in times to come, we will be greatly benefited from your rich knowledge and experience. Over to you, Suresh. We welcome you, sir. We welcome all the participants of this webinar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shukla ji, for pointing out the contribution made by company secretaries and government, specifically Ministry of Corporate Affairs, in the growth of country. And you rightly pointed out the mantra Sabka Prayas, and there are many examples of this Sabka Prayas. Like if we see the success of Swachh Bharat, Digital India, Vocal for Local initiatives, so it is all because of Sabka Prayas initiative. So I would like to request first Shri Gopal Krishna Agarwal ji to share his views, and after that we'll take some questions related with the deliberation of Gopal ji, and after that I will request Shri S.N. Tripathi ji to give his address. So please, Gopal Krishna Agarwal ji, you can start your address, please.
Thank you, Suresh ji. And it is always a great pleasure to address my fellow professional colleagues. All the energy which ICSI has gets transmitted whenever I have the chance to participate in the deliberations. My fellow speaker, Shri Surendranath Tripathi ji, and we just now heard Shri Dhananjay ji and other professional colleagues. I welcome you all, and I convey my good wishes to all of you. This topic is very important, and the importance of this topic becomes more relevant when we understand what is the thinking of the government, where the country is going to head in the economic arena, what will be the economic ecosystem, because we are all associated with such a profession which has a lot of bearing on the economy, and the economy also has a bearing on our careers. So we should understand where economic activity is going to progress in the country and what is the thinking of the current government, what is their basic understanding, how much concerns they have about the economy. All these things are important for all of us to build our careers, align our objectives with the government objective. That way, our own individual objective of the institution and objective of the government gets aligned, and we can contribute to more. So therefore, this is a very important, relevant topic, and I congratulate Alka ji and other institute team for organizing this seminar. Friends, I will like to put my speech in kitna 30 minutes, 25 minutes? Kitna hai, Saurabh ji?
You can take, sir, 25 minutes.
You can take your own time. No issues, sir.
Yeah. So in that time, I will distribute my speech address on two parts. One, I will give you an overview of where the economy of the country is heading. What is the thinking about the government? And the second part is how, as a profession, what is our role, how we can enhance our role in the whole nation building that we all aim to achieve. Historically, friends, if you look into India's perspective, since ages, we see that economy was an important part always for India. जब भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को हजारों साल, भारत की संस्कृति समाज को हजारों साल हो गए, और जब भी अगर पुराने समय में आप देखें तो before we were enslaved for almost 1,000 years, before that we were on economic parameters contributing about 25 to 27% to the global GDP, and we were also contributing huge quantity in the global trade. And when we were economically prosperous, India was leading the world in every sector: art, culture, music, dance, food, festival, architecture, engineering. So the basic thing is, if a country has to progress, if the basic structure where the country thinks that it can be called itself as a Viksit Bharat, it has to first achieve an strong economy. So that is very clear that current dispensation, when it talks about that we will achieve the status of Viksit Bharat in 2047, we will first be, and we will assume the global leadership of the world. Then we have to become a strong economy. We have to be economic superpower. So if you look into the last 10 years of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's work, he has worked in different aspects where economic growth can come, and India can propel in those sectors, can catalyze its growth in those sectors, and those sectors have achieved the prime importance in the government policy thinking, etc. So basically, the current dispensation understand that India has to become an economic power before it can assume global leadership, and that is the basic concept of Viksit Bharat. Second point I would like to mention here is that after an initial thousands of years of good economy, there was a period of 1,000 years where our country was enslaved, foreign invasions. And in 1947, we got independence. In that point of time, India's economy was in doldrums. 1947, we were only contributing to less than 2% to global GDP and trade. And at that point of time, there was large-scale uneducation, there was poverty, there was unemployment, there was different kind of diseases, and everything was there in that point of time. So in 1947, when economy was in bad, in every area, we lost our status. Since 1947, we have continuously moved ahead and progressed. But the pace of economic growth since 1947 has been very focused. I'll not go into very big details, but I'll tell you that there are certain areas where our current government is strongly focusing, and those areas have created an environment where economy can grow and move ahead. After second point I would like to underline is, first we were strong economy, then there was phase of enslavement where we lost our status, then again in 1947 we got independence and we moved ahead in some areas, but the pace of growth in economic activity since 2014 was quite speedier. And but then we had in 2000 around 2020, the world economy got a big jolt by the COVID, COVID problem. And the post-COVID, there were three countries which were driving global economy before that: US, European economies, and China. Post-COVID, all the three economies, global economies, which were propelling global growth and catalyzing global growth, face different kind of problems. America is facing high rate of inflation. Europe is facing huge recession, and China has not come out of its COVID problem. But India, post-COVID, has shown an exemplary recovery in the economic arena also. There were certain areas which contributed to India's recovery. It was about the vaccine, the amount of vaccination, the Atmanirbhar package, the digital public infrastructure in last 10 years, which was created to support the welfare schemes of the government, so that it get in or the government schemes reach to the large person, targeted person, and without any leakages or without any corruption, etc., to the person, which designated person. That was very important. So digital public infrastructure, the large-scale vaccination, the Atmanirbhar package, and all the three major economies which were driving global economy before COVID, were facing certain problems, but India moved ahead at a fast pace. So that's the basic structure that I was telling. On that, after in this last 10 years from 2014 to 2023, if you look into the areas where we were facing problems, Indian economy was facing problem on the energy side. Most of the energy requirement was being imported from foreign countries. Lot of our foreign exchange was we were losing a lot of foreign exchange in buying oil products and energy, fulfilling our energy requirement. The Prime Minister has focused immensely on energy security. And at the global arena also, the Prime Minister has taken care that national interests are protected at the global diplomatic level. Whether we require import from Iran, whether we require our oil import from Russia or Ukraine, there also the Prime Minister has made sure that Indian national interests are protected, our energy security is enhanced. The Prime Minister has taken huge initiative on green energy, green hydrogen energy, renewable energy side. Huge investment is coming in this sector. Along with this, in the Atmanirbhar package, the government has through PLI in 14 sectors, the government has announced production linked incentive schemes where it is supporting manufacturing, because manufacturing alone can bring a lot of employment. The India is facing big challenge on the employment generation. So manufacturing sector has been a focus of the government, where huge investment under the PLI schemes or on the side of a creation of infrastructure to building roads, railways, airways, waterways, and airports, etc., have created a huge demand in the economy, and they are also creating ease of living and ease of doing business, and also at the same time reducing the cost of transportation, logistic cost, because logistic cost is an important factor which becomes a hindrance to the manufacturing sector, whether it is transportation of raw material or finished good. So connectivity, huge investment government is doing. Even the public sector undertakings are planning a lot of capex. I have been on the board of several public sector undertakings. If you look into the investment plan of public sector undertaking, even private sector undertaking also, they have huge capex plans. So investment from the government, investment from the public sector undertaking is also creating demand in the economy, at the same time propelling private investment into the economy. PLI schemes like PLI and Atmanirbhar Bharat package is also supporting the growth of industrialization and business in the country. So this is very important. Even if you look into the defense sector, is another important area where government is focusing. At one point of time, almost 90% of our defense requirement was being imported. Last year, 68% of our defense requirement was procured domestically. Same is the case in the space technology. The amount of startup ecosystem, new ventures are coming in the space technology with the launching of satellites, etc. New innovations is coming. India at present is globally competitive in low cost launching of satellites. Several new startup ecosystem startup companies are coming in the space technology. Government has opened it for the private sector also. Along with this infrastructure, capex expenditure, the creation of support to the industries, etc., the government has also worked on the macroeconomic parameters, because without the strong macroeconomic fundamentals, strong macroeconomic parameters, no economic ecosystem can work. So whether the government has a clear-cut roadmap on fiscal consolidation, inflation is under control, GDP growth rate is moving ahead at a fast pace, and the FDI, India is attracting a lot of FDI. These all factors show that Indian economy is growing at a fast pace. And this, as Sureshji has said, that this is Amrit Kal. In this for 25 years, Indian economy is going for a big leap forward. All the macroeconomic parameters are very strong. Government has resources to support the industry and to support people, those who are in need. And at the global level, lot of interest is coming towards India because they feel that in the next 2 or 3 decades, economic activity is going to shift to India and they want to participate into that economic activity, and therefore a lot of FDI is coming. So all these things, parameters show that Indian economy is in a sound footing. And who are the stakeholders who will benefit out of this? As a profession, those who are connected to the business industries, as a company secretary, chartered accountant, all our professional colleagues are very well connected and are major stakeholders in the economic activity. Our vision as a party ideologically and the Prime Minister's vision is very clear that without strong economy, India cannot progress. We consider business community, industrialists as part of nation building, and we are not shy of associating with them because they alone can create wealth through which welfare schemes of the government work. The transparency, digital public infrastructure, and watching bilateral trade agreement with many strong countries, engaging with different economies in the world in multilateral platforms like WTO, World Economic Forum, OECD, and IMF, World Bank, etc. has increased manifold. Government is going for free trade agreement and bilateral trade agreement with many countries. It will increase import trade with many national countries. So it is very good position that we find ourselves. And 2 areas where important focus is there from the government side is knowledge economy, which includes artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, renewable energy, and app development, digital transactions. All these are included into chip manufacturing. All these are sectors which are coming under the knowledge economy. India has very strong potential in this area, and government is investing huge amount in these areas. And second important area that, and again, our government focus is on cultural economy. If you look into the way Ayodhya has developed, if you look into the way Kashi has developed, if you look into the way G20 seminars were held in more than 60 city centers, which were at point of time cultural centers in the country, where more than 1 lakh international influencers came to those places. They were exposed to what India's cultural heritage in relation to art, culture, music, dance, food, festival, handicrafts are there. And so that there is a big boom on the tourism and the economic activity related to the cultural aspect of the country. So huge investment is coming on the cultural economy side, knowledge economy side, infrastructure side, and the public digital technological side. The government is focusing on that. So with this, I come to the next part, is about the role of our profession. As I said earlier, that we are important as an individual is important for a country, for development, growth, etc. Corporate citizen, individual citizen is important for many aspects of development in the country. Similarly, corporate citizen is important for the creating economic good ecosystem, economic ecosystem. And as a professional company secretary, we have a big role in creating sound corporate citizens. They alone can deliver what are the objectives of the government. And with the economic activity, a lot of professional opportunities are coming on our way. What we need is that we should have pride in our profession. We should consider with full confidence that it is our profession which can create good ecosystem of economic activity, transparent ecosystem, compliant ecosystem for the country, and can contribute strongly to the nation building. With this confidence, with this mindset, we can participate in the growth process and we can contribute to the growth process. The second point that I would like as a company secretary's role important is when economic activities take a big leap, several policy changes take place. And in that policy changes, those policies are made by the government, department, ministries, bureaucrats, etc. And those policies impact the economic activity in the country. What we need is to intervene at an early stage of policy making. This is an important, second important role that I want to underline as a company secretary. There are several narratives which are coming in the public domain through social media, through media, etc. Whenever a government is thinking of bringing some new policy or some new initiative, we should, as a profession or as an institution, intervene at an early stage. At times, what happens that once the government policy is announced, then we start putting out certain reservations, challenges, etc. Whenever at the discussion stage, we should intervene at that point of time, create a narrative conducive to the business environment. And at that point of time, the government is in a mindset to listen and get the suggestion. At that intervening at initial early stages helps consolidate the policy in the right direction. That is an important role as an institution we should play, as an individual also we should play. Third point that as a role I understand is what happens is that generally business professionals, etc. say that we don't want to participate in the political activity directly. That mindset also has to change because ultimately every decision is taken at the political level, political class. If you only try to assume an advisory role, or if you only want to put the role as suggestive, that person who can only give suggestions, then ultimately your role gets limited. If you ask for direct representation with your people who are politically inclined or those who want to participate actively in the political arena, from your profession, support them so that you can have political representative and not merely an advisory role. So that is the third point that I want and as an important underline. Change your mindset from just giving an advisory role. Come to direct participation, direct representation so that your participation, because generally ministries have academicians, ministries know economists, but people from business, those who understand business, finance and economics, nitty-gritty of business, everything, that capacity is sometimes eluding at the political level. So those people, if they get into that, that is an important third point that I wanted to say. And the fourth point, last point that as a role I understand is expand the scope of the profession. Just don't think that we are only responsible for compliances. We are the torchbearer of the economic activity. We are the people who can bring big change in the economic ecosystem. Expand the role that we understand business, finance, economics, additional to compliance, accounts, minutes, regulation, SEBI compliances, ROC. In addition to compliances, expand the role of the profession, create a narrative, create a brand of the profession. More than that, that we are the torchbearer who understand the nitty-gritty of the profession. That way, that alone will create a big brand for our profession that will give space for whatever our thoughts are with the government. Government is ready to listen to the people who are associated with business. Government is very much focused, Prime Minister is very much focused to make India an economic superpower. And in that, he wants participation from all segments and mainly from professional people, because when the economy opens, there are a lot of competition from the globally. In that, people who are educated, who are efficient, who understand things, if they increase their role, that will help the country. So we will benefit individually with the economic activity. We can contribute more to the growth of the economic activity. We can contribute to the competitiveness of the corporate sector through better compliances or through better presentation of balance sheets, etc., incorporating so many new technologies about ESG compliances, about blockchain, the environmental costs, project evaluation. So many fields come up in addition to just compliances for all of us. So there are immense opportunities which are coming our way. We can achieve a great thing for our profession and individually. So with this, some of the remarks that came to my mind, I thank the Institute for giving me an opportunity. Last small point that I would like to say is that there is a big data explosion, and find out certain measures through which data from digital transaction, tax data, GST data, income tax data, these data are incorporated into project evaluation mechanism from the government side. If our businesses, there are so many small businesses, they find challenges on the credit side, they find challenges on various other issues. If we can incorporate the data which is hugely being generated at different levels through GST, tax, digital transaction, etc., and incorporate them into their credit analysis or project evaluation, that will create a big support to small businesses. And if we work towards with the government on incorporating these data and integrating these data into the business credibility ecosystem, that will help a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for highlighting the important points. And you rightly said, sir, India is becoming Atmanirbhar, and export is increasing, import is like we are trying to decrease, and we are becoming self-sufficient. And infrastructure is developing like anything. Recently, in Delhi NCR, the Prime Minister has inaugurated the Dwarka Expressway. You can see the tunnel under marine in Mumbai also. So our rural areas are also well connected with the big metro cities. And as a company secretary, you rightly said, we need to find out our role in knowledge economy. We try to find out our role or opportunities in cultural economy also. So many ideas are coming to my mind, and we are also getting many questions. If you allow me, I can ask one or two or some questions, Gopal sir. So,
yes, sir.
Yes. So what are the major challenges in achieving the vision of Viksit Bharat, and how can they be addressed? Like you talked about opportunities, you talked about our achievement, but what are the major challenges as per you to achieve this goal of Viksit Bharat, sir?
The major challenges, one important challenge is about the employment generation. And government is well aware that we have a huge population which can be give us a demographic dividend, but if they do not get proper employment, then it becomes a liability, and we may become poor before we may become old before we become rich. That is one challenge. So employment generation for the large population is a big challenge. So therefore, our focus is on MSME sector's growth. That is the only sector where manufacturing sector alone can bring big employment. Second is the construction infrastructure that is creating, that is also a good employment opportunities. And to meet this challenge, entrepreneurship and self-employment is an area where government is working. Various schemes, even Vishwakarma schemes or development of cooperative sector, self-help groups, or this street vendor schemes, Mudra scheme. These are small, developing small businesses so that they can generate employment of self-entrepreneurship and self-employment is the area where the government is working. Second, related to this is about skilling of the people, employability of our education system, where a lot of thing is lacking on the employability side of the person. So there is several reports which are coming that it is not only employment which is challenging, but more is underemployment. Even those people who have got some employment, they are also seeking a better opportunity for themselves. But at the same time, industry, etc., are not finding people who are well suited to their line of development. So several initiatives government is taking on this. So employment is one challenge. Second is controlling inflation. And at the same time, expanding the government expenditure. Because if government has to spend on infrastructure, government had to spend on welfare scheme, government had to spend on the support like PLI and other schemes. So there is huge cost or expenditure on the government side. And if the resource revenue is not proportionately generated to increase economic activity, direct and indirect tax collection, so fiscal deficit, clear-cut roadmap of fiscal consolidation, which the government has said, but that is a challenge. And if that is not controlled, then we can get into inflationary mode. Second, employment, inflationary mode, fiscal deficit, macroeconomic parameters. And the third, which the finance minister said, is global challenges also come about, because more and more economies are moving towards closing their economies, and international trade is shrinking. So our export can be hampered. The third is this global challenges, which can come through global wars like Ukraine war, Palestine, Gaza war, etc.
Yes, sir.
So these are some of the challenges that I think are important.
One more question is coming in my mind, sir. As you know, approximately 75% population of our country are living in rural areas, you can say in villages. So what government is doing for the development of those villages? There are many schemes they are doing it, like they are providing direct benefit transfers, they are providing, like you rightly mentioned about the Vishwakarma scheme also. But as per you, anything like any new scheme, if it is required for the development of the rural India? And very important point, sir, how can a company secretary contribute for the development of the rural India?
Thank you, Suresh. One, for the rural area is very important because huge population is living in the rural area. The area where our government is at presently focusing is developing the cooperative sector. There is a huge incentive provided by the government on the cooperative sector through reduced taxes. Several of the initiatives our government has taken to improve the cooperative sector through reduced compliances, better availability of technology, providing several amendments to the Cooperative Sector Act, because government understand that more than 2 lakh cooperative societies are there in the country. If they start, and they mostly work in the rural area through milk cooperative, farmer producer organization, etc. So cooperative sector improvement is a focused area. Separate Ministry of Cooperation has been formulated under Amit Shah ji, and several initiatives are being taken. And second is farmer producer organization, because agriculture produce value addition is very much required. So food processing, etc., require huge investment. And through farmer producer organization, government is providing lot of subsidy. Almost 40 lakh rupees subsidy is being provided for 15 years at a stretch at different level to set up farmer producer organization so that they can improve the produce and value addition at the farmer sector. Third is self-help group. In women self-help groups are doing good work. Almost 80,000 women self-help groups have been being promoted by the government, where women entrepreneurs can work together. They are being supported through marketing support also. Then one district, two product scheme is also finding good resonance with the rural economy. And this rural infrastructure with Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and creating this connectivity of low-cost flying, etc., are helping the rural economy. But this is an important area. Without agriculture, strong agriculture growth, India economy on a sustainable basis may face some challenges.
Yes, sir. And because I am also from a rural background, I am from Ayodhya, and we have seen the development like anything. And as you mentioned it about the development of cultural economy. So we have seen that development in our area basically. But as a company secretary, an idea is coming in my mind, and you can also put this idea before appropriate forum, that as a company secretary, there are approximately 2.5 lakhs gram panchayat. And we have made one code also to conduct the meeting of gram panchayats. So as a company secretary, if our members can provide some kind of trainings to the gram pradhans or gram panchayat or jila panchayat level to conduct their meetings, to maintain the transparency, to maintain the attendance register, or to maintain the minutes, which is the very basic documentation about the meetings and panchayats and about their working. So it can be a big support to the rural economic development, and welfare schemes can also be monitored if we can give some training and we can do some kind of audit. So with this, I would like to express my gratitude of thanks for your address, sir. And thank you so much for giving your precious time for our members. So now I would like to request Shri S.N. Tripathi ji to kindly give his address on the topic, sir. Please, sir.
Respected Agrawal ji, Shukla ji, Pandey ji, and dear friends who are listening to us. In fact, 1 hour strong lecture full of facts and figures. There is very little scope for me. And it's also a very big opportunity for me that I can say anything without being contradicted. And there's a saying that somebody has said, "Sayad koi taras kar kismat samar de." Sayad koi taras kar kismat samar de. Ye soch kar hum umr bhar patthar bane rahe. This has been the tradition of India, that somebody else will come and develop us, and let's remain as a stone. Thankfully, the new sculpture in the name of our Prime Minister has arrived. A new team, a new bridge, a new way of thinking. In fact, I call our Prime Minister as the master of political seduction. The way he communicates, the way he communicates the ideas. The idea for today, if I am permitted to say so, Viksit Bharat by 2047 and role of company secretaries. I will confine myself to all that has not been spoken so that there is less repetition. There may be some repetition here and there. First, where we want to go. In one word, Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat. One nation, prosperous nation. This is the goal. Like you put up an Apple company, what Apple does? they produce a phone or connecting device. While BSNL was doing, connecting India. So the motto for the government is Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat. Because we are in the process of nation building. Everybody is Oriya, Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, and Rajasthani. Indians are in minority in India. So for the first time, we are saying that Ek Bharat, and therefore making it great. It's not that it was never great. It's not, we are not saying like what America is saying, make America great again. In fact, they are, in other words, saying, make America white again. But we are not saying so. We are saying Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, and all those things that you have just mentioned. So we want to make a Shrestha Bharat, not a great. Shrestha and great are different. Great is when you measure your height with somebody else. I am greater than you. But Shrestha is I am as good as you, and each one of us will make a prosperous nation. Similarly, what is the target if we become Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat? We know the global trend. I think all of us know it. Aging of population, this is global. And Agrawal just said Indians are going to be older before becoming rich. I also endorse the idea. We are most populous nation in the world, but we might be start aging after 2047. So we have to manage aging population. How their social security can you manage? Similarly, there is another big issue, rising income inequality. These are global trends. 1%, 99%, occupy Wall Street. Even here also, the Annadatta is on the road. The MSMEs, they feel that they are being deprived. Industry feels that they are not getting due share. Bureaucracy always cries that we are not being paid properly. And the only thing we find that the income distribution will take place through taxation, not through value addition. So this becomes a problem when you try to equalize the income of a society by using taxation as a route, not a wealth creation as a route. So public policy in India has to take care of aging of population. Second, what we call it rising income inequality. And third and last is climate change. Climate change is not going to be only because of air quality and soil quality and this and that. Climate change can perhaps do a tsunami in various areas. Flood, drought, tsunami, and all those things, they are disaster, but we make them natural. They are natural, but because of bad management, we make them disaster. So I thought if Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat is the goal, the idea is to make it nation competent, which can handle aging of population, it can handle the rising income inequality, and it can also handle what we call it climate change. What is the way out for the government, the way things? In fact, this government is very clear that we should not go back to being ruled from a colonial master, but rather being governed by our own people by using the benefits of technology and knowledge. We have just been told by our previous speaker that we are in a knowledge economy. India leapfrogged from agriculture to service economy, bypassing what I call it industrial growth. We did not go through the classical British or classical European way. First, from hunter and gatherer to agriculture, which is settled economy, to industrial economy and switching over to service economy. India did not go through the manufacturing process. We went straight to the service economy. Today, the service exports of India is about more than $152 billion, which is more than the oil export done by Saudi Arabia. So this is the power of knowledge economy that India has entered. And the time has come to have a relook. What is this knowledge economy and for whom this knowledge economy is working? In industrial economy, you can find that Tatas, Birlas, Dalmias earlier, and maybe Ambanis, Adanis, and today's new entrepreneurs are making the lot of money. But what about the rest of it? The government works for all. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is possible, not because of GDP. GDP can grow at 7%, GDP can grow at 8%. We are the fastest growing economy in the world, in the larger economy, and we have been growing when the whole world was either shrinking or growing at the rate of less than 3%. We have been able to contain our inflation, as just told by Agrawalji, So we are also working on fiscal and financial deficit, so that we also only have the democratic deficit, which is being managed by the political masters. So what is the target again? India at 2047 should be a developed nation with three things at least: zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero defect and zero effect manufacturing. If these three things are done, we can perhaps make India a developed nation. Because if GDP divided by population per capita is not the right guide, because if you take up 10 human beings out of this list, GDP per capita falls like a pack of cards. All of you are intelligent people, so I will not like to elaborate these points, because the rich and poor, there is no question of being equal in numbers. It has to be equal in earning capacity also. What government has done to achieve this? What the bureaucracy and legislatures are doing together? Where is the scope for collaboration? Are we on the right path, or are we on the different path? I just discussed that hum umr bhar patthar bane rahe. We don't want to be like that. Somebody else will come and develop India. In first decade of independence, we built institutions, IIT, IIMs, and maybe modern temples of modern India like CPSEs. In second decade, we developed our agriculture. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, we brought green revolution. Third decade, we started developing our defense capability. We are the only country who incubated another country. People incubate ideas, we incubate countries. We gave birth to another nation by dividing our own neighbor. So we settled our score at least partially. Limited point is that when a nation grows, it has to face all the challenges. In a VUCA world, we are not in a smaller world. The bipolar world is no longer. They know global policeman where you can go and report, sir, I'm disturbed. Now every power, regional powers are coming. In fact, USSR, after dismantling Russia, is not able to reconcile that they are no longer number two power. The rising might of our globe, our North China, has to be factored in India's growth story. We can't only cry wolf because bhendi aaya. The best way to compete is to compete in value chain, in the global value chain. That is where company secretaries can play a major role along with business. Government will not create wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Wealth will always be created by entrepreneurs who will run an enterprise, who will run a service industry, who will run anything. Today we have created that ecosystem where anyone can start up, anyone can put up industry, and we are trying to reduce the compliance burden or regulatory burden on that. Here, company secretaries and thinkers like yours can come up with those ideas. What are the still pain points? You see, regulation is needed in a free market economy also. The fastest vehicle on the road is Mercedes, not because it has the best engine, because it also has the best brake. Otherwise, Belgadi could have been the fastest vehicle which has no brake. So every economy requires regulation. There will be a little bit of regulation, either from bureaucracy, legal, or judiciary. Yes, tarif pe tarif nahi, but we want tarif pe tarif, so that everybody who does good work, be it industry, service, or any other sector, gets appreciation for that. And that is where we can think, we can come out with a new mindset. Somebody has said, as a previous speaker, that we have been too much fixed that everything will be done by government. At least the poor economy, the poor section, the rural economy, they were all dependent upon the government for large scale. You have seen the agriculture sector. They want government to give them irrigation, government give them subsidized fertilizer, government give them science and technology benefit, and government should also procure the entire food grain being produced by the farmer. There is nothing wrong in expecting, but what will government do with all those procurements? But then who can say that? Who will bell the cat? We came out with 3 progressive farm laws, but then they have to be withdrawn, and perhaps the cooperatives are being now made ready to intervene in the market. We have an alternative strategy for all these aspects. Limited point is that for developed India, we all have to follow at least 4 or 5 principles that I think they are very important for each one of us. One, I call it think. Let's think differently. Thinking same, doing the same, thinking more, doing more will not give us different result. We have to think differently, because earlier government was distributing one house for 10 people. Today we are distributing 11 house for 10 people. What we call it saturation model. When the government is going for saturation, every village should have electricity, every village should have a optical fiber, every house should have a roof, every individual should have a pakka roof on his head or her head. House should be owned by women, house should have electricity, toilet, ujjwala, this and that, and all for everyone. This is no longer rationing, this is rather saturation. And saturation delivery requires very different mindset. We have to think differently so that they know is sprinkling, rather there is solid growth at the bottom level. It is the bottom of pyramid that will consume your goods and services. It is not the rich. Rich can buy anything going to US, London and Japan. It is the poor who buy everything locally. Therefore, being vocal for local or one district, one product, all these clarion call of the Prime Minister, they resonate with the rural people. Our job is to see that their income rises, their purchasing power increases, and at least their expenditure on housing, education, electricity, optical fiber, connectivity, all these things are being indemnified by the government, so that whatever little they earn out of their daily wages, they improve in their skill and they become better earners. So they can become better buyer in the market economy. Similarly, we have to have a solution mindset. Think differently, you can have very good planning. We always have a good planning, even with planning commission also. But when it was abolished, nobody cried. Niti Aayog, everybody welcomed, because we should be thinking differently, not doing it same time. So solution mindset also require very different way out. When government was controlling business and market, government could play the role of player and referee. If you are having a steel plant and you are also fixing the steel price, then sale can become viable. But when sale is not the only producer, government cannot fix up the price keeping sale into account. They have to take Tisco, they have to take JSW, and they have to take POSCO. They have to take the global market. So government has to distance itself from being producer and referee or player and referee in the same game. Therefore, government should withdraw from production and government should solely give it to the market. Solution mindset. We have to have a solution. And therefore, government has done the right thing, that we are doing more on ease of doing business than on how to do the business itself. Being a nurse and midwife is better than being a wife to keep on producing children. Population cannot be controlled by more mothers. Population can be controlled by more midwives and more health advice. Today, we are not doing business. We are promoting ease of doing business. So the rest of India grows, not the government-owned companies. Let the private companies grow. So this is the solution mindset, I say. Third is collaboration. Ekla chalo re. I alone shan't win. Only UP should get all the investment, or Gujarat should get, or Tamil Nadu should get. Bihar and can wait, Tamil Nadu or West Bengal can wait. That mindset will not work. We have to come out of the silos, both of thinking as well as regionalism. If a railway minister is from Bihar, all the rail trains will start from Bihar. If I'm not blaming anyone, there is nothing wrong in starting all the trains from a particular place, but let the dispersal take place. Ekla chalo re. Collaboration is the best way we can double the investment. The silos, whole of government, whole of society, whole of nation approach is the best approach. And therefore, we have to have collaboration as a mindset, both inside the company, enforced by the company secretary, inside the government, persuaded by the bureaucracy, even inside the political system, because 4 million elected representatives are there, from ward member to the Prime Minister. But there are 1,400 million people in India. There are 30 million bureaucrats. We all serve this great nation. If we think not to collaborate, we will be, everybody will do the same thing and there will be no economy of scale. When Prime Minister said that it is a PM Gati Shakti, it is Gati which is important than the Shakti. We have been, as I said, somebody will improve my fate and then therefore I should keep on waiting for it. Government says that no, the time has come that Indians will develop a prosperous India and therefore collaboration as a mindset is required. Similarly, communicate. Industry, the academia, the agriculture sector, the bureaucracy, the civil society, there is a dialogue deficit, trust deficit. Today we have got the advantage of social media. It is not the age of print media where Times of India and Indian Express will prepare the narratives, or Times of or London BBC and CNN will sermonize from the TV station, or New York Times and newspapers. These media houses will set the agenda for the nation. Today there are micro blogging sites, YouTube, TikTok, and all those things. People are expressing themselves. But is this communication meaningful? Are they communicating to show themselves, show them off, or they are communicating to connect? I give an example of Man Ki Baat, where Honorable Prime Minister not only communicates, he connects with the people. Today the time has come that boards should also communicate and connect among themselves. In board, there is so much tension that finance fellows will not speak to the HR fellows will not speak to company secretary will not talk to cost accountant, and chartered accountant becomes dushman number one in any company. Let's collaborate and communicate inside, communicate outside, only then you can get a fair market share. If you think that you will communicate only as much which is required, then need to know based communication not the best way. The company will not get a good name and you will lose the market size. Because in today's world, there is no company, no institution has divine right to exist unless they think differently, unless they have a solution mindset, unless they learn to collaborate, and unless they are able to communicate their message to the people. We have seen how political parties communicate. You see, Modi ki guarantee everybody knows. We have heard that चुनिए उन्हें जो सरकार चला सके, गली गली में शोर है, फला आदमी चोर है, राजा नहीं फकीर है, देश की तकदीर है, गरीबी हटाओ. These were slogans which will resonating with the people. Indian manufacturing sector also has to come up with this. We all are aware that little bit of steel in everywhere, the Tata Steel advertisement. Nirma powder, the same thing. And the life boy hai jahan tandurusti hai wahan. Everybody remembers. Therefore, in fact, it is not the age of market share, it is the age of mind share. In a knowledge economy, market share is not the guide. It is the mind share that is the guide. New age economy like Apple, Facebook, Twitter, and all these things are $1 trillion market capitalization. They hardly produce much. In fact, whole of Apple product, you can keep it in your labs. A good laptop can carry all the product of Apple company. But there are $3 trillion economy, which is more than the total economic size of a country like India. So mind share matters because mind share will give you market share, not the market share will give you mind share. So think differently, solution mindset, learn to collaborate with competitors also, communicate with the society and market, and then be the leader. We don't need one leader, we need a ship of leader. That is why it is known as leadership. It is not that one person will lead, rest of India will only follow. We don't need followers. We need managers and workers and leaders. Only then you can become mentor. Mera kya, mujhe kya, that mindset will not work. People, process, and technology matters. We are all being told in the management school. It is the culture and value system that makes an institution great. And it is here the role of professionals like you, professionals like us in bureaucracy, and the whole of society where we talk about it. I always say that Sarkar, Samaj, Bazaar, in case they started collaborating for the growth of a nation, no power on earth can stop it. When these three work in three different directions, we were colonized. Market was controlled by Britishers, goods were produced by Britishers, only Indians were buyers. We remained a colony for 200 years. Even first 75 years, we wanted to produce everything, but we failed because collaboration was not there. We thought that we will make everything on our own. Today, we have learned the art tricks of the trade. We are in Quad, we are in WTO, we are in every virtually national and international organization. Today, India has cheeks to tell to the Europe, you mind your business, don't poke on us. In fact, our Honorable Foreign External Affairs Minister makes every day, every Indian proud when he tells that Europeans should mind their own business. Let them preach first to their own people, then preach to the India. And in G20, we have seen how 20 great leaders were not even wearing chappal in front of Gandhi. That is the tribute to a power of a nation. And I believe that even a soft way also, in a gentle way also, you can shake the world. It is the time of India. It is the time of Bharat. And when Prime Minister says, and I entirely agree, yahi samay hai सही समय है, भारत का अनमोल समय है. Friends, we are entering into a knowledge economy. I will speak a few sentences on knowledge economy before I conclude. What is knowledge economy? Everybody defines like Hariyanant, Harikatha, Ananta. You are from Ajodhya. Incidentally, my home district is also used to be Faizabad before Ajodhya. Now we were separated by Ambedkar Nagar. But still then, when I was born, it was in Faizabad only. We have seen how greatness of culture, power of culture can change the fate of an area. Ajodhya, which we used to get 1,000 visitors for Ram Temple, that too saying the Ram Lala in a tent, today gets 3 lakh visitors. In 300 days, it will get 90 million visitors. Whole of the Eiffel Tower gets 70 million visitors and the highest growth. Ajodhya alone can attract 90 million visitors. If every visitor spends only 1,000 rupees in Ajodhya, how much GDP is contributed by the tourists? How many jobs of taxi wala to lineman to chairman job is created? This is knowledge economy, friends. One temple can create. We have seen what Unity, the Statue of Unity has done for Kevadia. Some of you might have visited Sardar Sarovar Dam only 10 years back. You visit today, it is full of festivities. It looks like as if you are entering in a Vatican or in London. Everything is signing for everybody is beneficiary. Even Chaiwala in fact, Chaiwala is now the right word, but everybody is benefiting in this knowledge economy. It is the service sector where things are better. And service sector, the only option before us and where we need to work together. And I would like to emphasize it, that talent pipeline is the only way out. No institution will survive with one leader and one company secretaries. You can't recruit donkeys and give them training to become horses. Better recruit horses. They will perform 10 times more than even a trained donkey. So this is the age of meritocracy. Let's build up talent pipeline in each institution. In fact, I call it DTN, building the digital talent nation. We are in a DPI was just mentioned, Jandhan and all those things I will not like to repeat. But there is a need, and my theory is that we should shift from human capital. We should shift from human capital, where emphasis was on skill and competency, to social capital, where we will give emphasis on empathy and teamwork. If organizations adopt simple things, in fact, I'm trying to do the same thing in IIPA. Instead of building everybody's capacities, we are trying to build up the social capital. Because you get business by being business friendly. You don't get business because of our product. All phones are equal. But Apple is priced at $1,100 US and third-rate phones with all those equipments inside, they are not even able to sell at $200. So quality matters, friends, how you do it. We are not hiring a pair of hands in the market, either in bureaucracy or in a company. They have a head in between their two pair of hands. It is that head matters. And scientific management days are over. We are shifting from man to system. And from system to robotic system, we are going for rapid prototyping and all those things. We are going for digital manufacturing. Digital manufacturing will require very different types of human needs. But are we preparing the current client for buying those products, current employees for producing those products, and current market setup to deal with this type of marketing? Today, just by over a laptop, you can transact your business globally. From Timbuktu to Tokyo, you can sell your small dosa manufacture, anything which can be consumed within 10 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours globally. When world is flattening, the business societies and Sarkar cannot remain in silos. And therefore, shift from human capital to social capital, and from like what we call a thinking head is more important than the working head. Hard working and hardly working, the word is differentiating. A hard worker gets minimum wages, but a talented worker gets 10 times or 100 times more than minimum wage. The salary of Tesla executive is $56 billion US per year. Elon Musk gets $56 billion per year as a salary. That means if he spends 1,250 crore every day on his health, he will still need a consultant like you and me who spend the rest of the money. He is being paid 1,250 crores per day because he is leading a company, taking all the risks and producing wealth for himself, producing wealth for the nation. In India, we have to bring this mindset that Human Development Index or spending on human capability is not an expenditure, it is an investment. New education policy, new IIMs, IITs, they are a bedrock of knowledge economy. You can't be knowledge economy doesn't go by weight that you are 100 kg, you are more suitable than a person who is 90 kg or 10 kg. Today, everybody is punching above his weight, not because of his weight, but because of his knowledge. In knowledge economy, investing in knowledge, investing in all type of knowledge. AI, ML, RPL, and all those things are being discussed today. We have to think like a quantum computing. We have to think 10 years ahead, and India has shown it during COVID. Everybody thought that 140 crore Indians without any good health infrastructure and doctors without hospital without doctors, India will die like flies and cats and dogs. But we managed to save ourselves. Not only saved ourselves with vaccine, but vaccine Maitri we supplied to 100 nations. The logistic management of vaccine is a Harvard case story in case anybody studies the vaccination in India. Friends, vaccine is science, but vaccination is administration. And I'm proud of my administration in India that everybody cooperated to see that a dose is given to the person and only that dose is repeated after 3 months without he keeping a record. The moment he goes to the hospital knows where he got his first dose, what was the company dose, and when he deserves the second dose. And entire thing was done digitally. Whole world is amazed that India could manage. We never carried a paper certificate. This is not a tree cutting or tree saving device. We were capable of handling our affairs digitally. But the 12 billion digital transactions take place on UPI. We have become, in fact, in recently held G20, our UPI was a showstopper in case I am using face and language. The best model is kept as a showstopper. And our UPI was, whole world was amazed that Indians can do it. This is the time for India. This is the time for Bharat. And let's together do it. We can do it because one nation we should become. Only a one nation can fight all the issues together. If we become different nations within one nation and we oppose one election, we oppose one market, we oppose one identity, we oppose one mobile number, we oppose one taxation GST, we oppose even connecting India that I am Tamil, I am Telugu, you are UP wala, you are Bihar wala, you are Jhola wala, you are Dabba wala. All these walas will not do. The only ism can promote India is tourism. The rest, all isms should be surrendered to the Ek Bharat and Shrestha Bharat. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel proud that you have requested me to be with you. It could have been better had we been in face to face. But even talking digitally is not a bad idea. And I have talked too much, but I would like to listen to each one of you, some of you. If there are any questions, I would be too happy to answer to the best of my capability. Thank you.
Thank you so much for wonderful deliberation, sir. And more than 10,000 members are attending this program. So for physical 10,000 person to accommodate, you need a big auditorium. But this is the beauty of technology, sir. On a single click, 10,000 members can access you. So thank you, sir. And you rightly mentioned about the role of inclusive development. And now we are happy that our government is thinking about big cities, and with them they are thinking about Gaon Garib, Mazdoor Kisan, and they are like trying to do Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. And as you rightly said, that we are ruled by our own people. And when Modi ji gave this idea of Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047, this is the beauty, sir. This is the example. When he initiated this idea, he told in one speech that your government will not not decide the way how your nation should be developed. So you are free as a citizen. You should give your suggestions. And he developed Viksit Bharat @2047 at MyGov website, and there was some provision of some appreciation or some prosahan rashi also for the best ideas. So this is the mentality of government, that they actually want inclusiveness of every citizen, and they are talking about, they are discussing about अंत्योदय, कि जो लास्ट व्यक्ति है, सबसे गरीब व्यक्ति हमारे देश का, वो भी हमारे देश की इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ का हिस्सा बन पाए. एंड आई थिंक सर, यू राइटली सेड वी शुड कम अप विद सॉल्यूशन माइंडसेट, एंड एज अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, एज अ प्रोफेशनल, we should support government to find out new ideas. I think one idea can change the whole nation, the whole world. So I think we should try to find out new ideas, and we should come up with new ideas, और उन ideas को हम सरकार तक और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन तक पहुंचा सकें. मुझे लगता है कि वो एक मतलब बहुत बड़ी बात होगी. एंड जिस तरीके से ये वैक्सीनेशन वाला एग्जांपल यू गेव अस, लाइक जो कोविड वैक्सीन हमने किया, और उससे पहले जिस तरीके से हमारे देश में वर्ल्ड की सबसे बड़ी वैक्सीन ड्राइव चली, जिसको हम पोलियो वैक्सीन ड्राइव के नाम से भी जानते हैं, लेकिन पोलियो का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन और कोविड वैक्सीन का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, दोनों में बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस था. दोनों ही वर्ल्ड की बिगेस्ट, मैं बोलूंगा, ड्राइव थी, बट जो मेन डिफरेंस था वो था टेक्नोलॉजी का. सो हाउ टेक्नोलॉजी कैन चेंज द वर्ल्ड, देयर आर मेनी एग्जांपल्स, और वी नीड टू like think for future. We need to think for new ideas. I am 100% agree, sir. I am receiving some questions, sir. If you allow me, I can. Yes. So first question is, sir, the last decade has witnessed a phenomenal demonstration of our capabilities to transform India. A comprehensive government model focused on leaving no one behind has been the motto of government. How do you assess India's progress toward Viksit Bharat so far?
In fact, assessing 10 years in the life of a 2,000-year or 5,000-year nation is a difficult task, but at least certain pointers you can use it. In 91, we controlled all the CPSEs and all the market, how to do business. In 2022, we have not only reduced the CPSEs, today the same CPSUs, their market capitalization is giving enough value to the government. So the CPSEs from being sold out to today becoming Maharatna, where private sector is investing. This is an example of a Viksit Bharat, because how you run the system makes the difference, not how you conceive. Every car is designed on the same principle the way Mercedes is designed. But Mercedes and Maruti face different prices. Same thing is true for designing a nation. Why nations fail, why companies fail? It is not because company, they shortcoming in the company. It is how the managers run the business. Perhaps we have learned it that in public sector, we should allow them to flourish. They will deliver both growth as well as market capitalization, but they need punishment. So we sold Air India, the rest all the CPSEs became viable. Same thing is true for bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is a slow-moving vehicle. People say that elephant cannot dance, but elephant can dance in case you put the right tune and perhaps the right measure of carrot and stick. We introduced what we call it policy of lateral entry. Only less than 100 people have joined. We have introduced Agnivir, less than a couple of thousand people might have joined, but it has changed the mindset about the government, for the government, even against the government. Government is not going with the major employer in the growth creating economy. It is the market which will create the economy. And we have seen what is the benefit of GST. We have seen that 66,000 crore per month was the collection when GST was launched. Today it is touching nearly 2 lakhs per month. Same Indian, same companies. Something might have been added because of inflation and market and pricing, but most of it is added because of new way of doing business. And today you are seeing GST companies, less than 1.2 crore companies, they are doing all this business. And these are not located in metros, they are located everywhere. Same thing is true, you take the face value of civil services. How 180 people are selected in IAS, I give you one example. Very few are from the St. Stephen College. All of them from Kalahandi to Coimbatore. They're from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. We talk about diversity. What else could be diversity when 160 people belong to 160 districts out of 785 districts? I'm not saying every district gets one or there is a quota or the reservation, but we are diversifying the bureaucracy. They're not no longer English accented and British trained and cigar smoking and 7 p.m. to what we call it 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. bureaucrats. We also have become 24/7 and led by the example by the PMO herself itself. So bureaucracy has changed. PSUs have changed. Same thing is true about, let's take up education. 22 IIMs are functioning. 30 IITs are functioning today. And these and medical colleges, in fact, government is thinking of one medical college in each district. More than 500 districts out of 785 already have a functioning medical college. So expansion of health, because health and nutrition can make a nation's social capital. Education comes later. In case the child is born with malnourished, mother is malnourished, child is half grown, stunted, he starts with a big belly, he is useless for everything, then any amount of nutrition at age 10 or age 15 becomes meaningless. This government is working at the grassroots level. We are strengthening Anganwadi. We are giving 5 kg rice to every human being under the sun. 80 crore, 800 million people being given 5 kg of rice. And we have such a supply chain arrangement that they are being monitored digitally. Very few countries can dream it. We have delivered it. So this is the change. We should be proud of all these things. I'm not saying we should be proud of our poverty, but we should be proud that we are trying and making serious attempt to remove poverty. If there are no houseless, there are no smokeless chula, every house has a Nal Se Jal, 24/7 water. Even Delhi and Mumbai get only 2 hours of water. In rural India is getting 24/7 water. So they are better off. Urbanization is one area, I think this area of concern. We need to do a lot because 52% people are living in urban areas. And this 20% addition of population in urban areas are not prepared to handle this much of crowd. Delhi, the population may be 2 crore, but total mobile population is 3 crore. To and fro, 50 lakhs people come and go. 3 crore people require different types of transportation, vehicle, air, stay, housing, and all those things. At least government is considering all these things. So we are firing on all cylinders, and perhaps we are achieving success also. Some of things were discussed like infrastructure. Some of things were discussed like what we are doing for poverty alleviation. Something was also discussed what we are doing for women, because they own 50% of the sky. They don't own even 10% of the land on the ground. So there is a qualitative shift in the government in empowering women. Earlier, when I was character in Sambalpur in 1991, the target was given that at least 10% beneficiary should be women. Even those were taken by the Sarpanch Patis and the Patis of the women. Today, there are, at least in many schemes, there are 70% beneficiary. In housing, 100% housing are being registered in the name of women. From women also to women centric, today we are moving towards women-led development. In today's speaker, I think all 4 of us were men. But when you are organized next time, it should be 50-50. Maybe I am prepared to surrender my place for that region. But this is the diversity of India. And I think you said that what we have done differently, we have managed diversity in India. There are no Naxal district now. We have managed diversity by removing 370. There is no 2 nation, 2 pradhan, 2 samvidhan, 2 vidhan, 1 nation, 1 samvidhan, 1 Janganman, 1 Tiranga everywhere. That is how nations are built. Nations are not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. It takes decades. But last decade, last 25 years, whatever we have achieved, if we remain at the same speed, we will not achieve the same amount of growth in next 25 years. That's why when Prime Minister said that we have to work on speed, work on scale, and work on skill to make India great. So therefore, these are the changes. Thank you.
You rightly pointed out, sir, about the urbanization, and even one more point I want to raise here. I was reading one newspaper today only. So I've seen that Bangalore is facing a great scarcity of water, and people are shifting from there. So what ideas you want to share, or what government is doing, sir, for development of economy at rural areas? Like everybody is want to come in the metro cities and want to do business here and want to do their practice profession here in metro cities, but nobody want to go in tier 2, tier 3 cities or in the rural areas. So what new initiative government is taking for the development, or as you said, about the development of educational economy, or the growth of the basically area which is left behind?
You see, urbanization is a binding constraint on growth story. All of you are students of economics. A binding constraint means if the constraints are not removed, it will slow down on efficiency front. If constraints are removed, then it will have unlimited potential. So theoretically speaking, or in public policy perspective speaking, urbanization for any country is a binding constraint. That means you cannot ignore it. It is the elephant in the room, elephant on the table, elephant in the walking. So urbanization has to be managed. It cannot be scolded. But what are the features of urbanization? Urbans are consumer center. Their production of goods and services. They can't produce rice, wheat, and agriculture. They can't produce water inside urban area. Most of the urbans are around cities or are around water areas, rivers and maybe the seaside, but they can't have drinking water. They have to drink water from outside. They have to get many resources from outside. So there is a time when we should not think urban or rural or either are. There need for rethinking urban-rural continuum. And perhaps the government is doing the right thing. When you extend your metro to Meerut, you extend your metro to Sohna, and metro to, let's say, Greater Noida and Jewar, you expand the cities. Don't come here, get welcome at that place. So this is the one thing which we are trying to decongest the cities. Then we are trying to manage the transportation, because after all, congestion requires handling. You can't scold it only. That humse na ho pai. That is not the option with the government. Government can't run away. If the problem is there, we have to solve it. So we are solving both the problem, agglomeration as well as congestion. Because if you don't agglomerate, you are not an urban. If you are not urban, you don't get scale benefit to run a school, to run a college, to run an industry, to get a manpower, to get a skilled manpower, or to run your factory for human being in social capital. But these men and women require social infrastructure, school, the hospitals and all those things. So benefit of agglomeration is there in urban area, but disease of congestion has to be managed by the transportation of goods and services, transporting water from outside, transporting electricity from outside, and so on and so forth. So government is working on these two, because in urban and rural, one thing we should understand, in rural areas, sir, 1 acre is only 1 acre. 1 acre in Ludhiana and 1 acre in Faizabad is only 1 acre. He produces wheat, he might get 20 bags. You produce wheat, you might get 17 or 16. Both of you have capability to go up to 25 bags per acre. But in urban area, 1 acre can become 80 acre if you allow 80 floor building. It can become 200 acre in case you allow more density in terms of population. So land appears to be in scarcity in London, in urban area. But if there are good public policies in consultation with Jan Bhagidari, we can unlock the potential. All of you have seen Manhattan, and all of us seen Hong Kong. They know concept of building not touching each other. Why in India should building be at a distance of 500 meters? In India, the instruction is that every car should be at a 70-meter distance. If you put 200,000 cars at 17 million, a person from Chandigarh will take 3 hours to maybe 3 hours more to reach to Delhi. So we have to devise our public policy which is suitable to our country. Bumper to bumper movement of traffic is one such Indian solution, but that is not the best possible solution. So public transportation, public housing, rental housing, and creating similar avenues outside India. So peripheral, like Mohali has developed, like Panchkula has developed, the way Gurgaon is being developed, the way Sona is being developed. That is how the urbanization will happen. Bangalore, unfortunately, tried to concentrate on Whitefield and the Lal Bagh. They did not expand beyond a point. Today they are paying a price. Hyderabad did not do this mistake. Hyderabad, the dry area where this I-Tech and InfoCity has come. They did manage the transition. Like Chennai could manage the transition. Why Bangalore being the richest per capita income? In fact, 32,000 crores is salary being distributed by IT companies per month. 32,000 crores is not a small money. And these are young boys, their kids, no house, so double income, no child, and they have to only spend it on pizza huts and all these things. They require water. In rural area, our per capita is 40 liters per person. In Bangalore, you require, if you go 30 times to bathroom, you require 150 liters even for clearing your shit. So urban requires more water. They can't produce water. They are not prepared to pay for the water. And the freebie that हम पानी बिजली माफ कर देंगे और पानी का पैसा नहीं देना पड़ेगा. अरे water and air cannot be produced by government. Even nature has started manufacturing these two things. So the public policy and then such public orientation also has to be lived in. But as a bureaucrat, I can't go beyond this. You understand my limitation.
I can understand, sir. One very interesting question is there, sir. What further initiative are needed to promote entrepreneurship and job creation to achieve the vision of Viksit Bharat?
In fact, this is the question. If we can answer this, or we can find out answer to this, most of the problem will be taken care of. अगर इंसान सरकार निर्भर रहेगा, देश आत्मनिर्भर कभी नहीं हो सकता. If every individual wants to be dependent only on the government, no nation can become self-reliant. What are the way out? One is education. We have changed the new education policy. We don't want everybody to become graduate. We don't want everybody to become PhD. You choose your profession at the 10th standard onwards. So we are promoting vocationalization, where vocationalization gets matrimonial advantage, not is treated as a liability. अरे उसका बेटा तो दामाद तो मैकेनिक है. अरे ये Steve Jobs भी तो मैकेनिक था. He was repairing his computer. Somebody is repairing somebody else. Limited point is that we have to give respect to these type of hard work and hard-working individuals. Second thing, I would certainly like to point out that choosing the right skill, the parents should also remain invested. Parents make the life miserable, the death in quota, the death among children, and then everybody wants to succeed, nobody wants to learn. We want to succeed at all cost. We have to tell our children that being a good learner is better than successful all the time. Everybody can't get 90%. And I have got 62%, I'm still in IAS. My colleagues got 90%, they are still roaming on the road. Friends, it is hard work and talent together can make you succeed. It is not talent alone, which is degree, or hard work, which is the Narega worker. So we have to find a balance. And entrepreneurship is a balance of that. I always say that each entrepreneur should help another entrepreneur. We will have millions of entrepreneurs. Each entrepreneur only helping a bureaucrat to get paid for doing wrong things is not the best way to manage the society. Sarkar, Samaj, Bazaar, तीनों को entrepreneurship बनना पड़ेगा. The state is promoting entrepreneurship through public policy. Market should welcome new entrant. We have removed the so-called experience and other criteria in our government procurement. Even 1 year person can also supply its goods. In GEM, we are now with ONDC. Every producer can sell its product to the government. So we are opening the criteria, which we would call it market-led limitation, because people were gerrymandering, people were collaborating. In fact, there were gangs who will supply only to Bigyan Phone because only they know when the tender is coming. So all those things we have removed. We are trying to see that everyone from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, anyone can supply to Delhi. And so is true for Srinagar to Srikakulam. And that is the way to develop entrepreneurship. And one more thing, I am one of those who believe that people are not poor, area is poor. A laborer in Kalahandi gets paid 200 rupees. The same laborer in Timbuktu will get 2,000 rupees. He will get to Hong Kong, he will get $200. So it is the area which is has to be richness. Enterprises are poor, not the entrepreneurs. So if entrepreneurs manage their enterprises, they can succeed. Same hotel run by another person succeeds. Same hotel succeeded by a third person fails. So it is not luck, it is hard work. And people want hardly working. We have to change the work from hardly working to hard work. Use your talent for your growth. Use your talent to give job, don't become job seeker. It is this mindset which is needed. And perhaps Honorable Prime Minister, the whole of government, each one of us in bureaucracy, we are also trying to make the ease of living through ease of business than fighting for a peon's job despite doing PhD. It's a waste of talent. So we would like talent to be harvested for entrepreneurship than the vice versa. That is the way I think, and the skill ministry, the youth ministry, WCD, RD, we all are trying to promote. Because you have seen that how the radio wala, patri wala, we were given 10,000 loan, and today they have got about more than 30,000 crores of investment. Mudra loan, 42 crore people have been given loan. No question asked. You repay, get more. You repay, get more. That is how the entrepreneurship is created. People are short of capital, not of knowledge. So we are giving them liberal capital. We are giving them emotional intelligence than the real intelligence and artificial intelligence. And we are giving huge market. Even if you produce 10 samosa can be sold, you promote 10,000 samosa, it can be sold. Only Balusahi Bechke Hira sweets have become Indian leaders in Delhi. So anything is sellable. I think all of us should appreciate that a person who is employing another person is bigger than the person who is using him as a laborer. So
you should know the art of selling.
I used to say that महाभारत में तो द्रौपदी का चीरहरण हुआ था, आज सुदामा का चीरहरण हो रहा है. Sudaما is Krishna, and both of us will become Krishna avatar. I mean, I'm not saying religious sense. We become an entrepreneur. Krishna, only today Krishna will survive, not the Ram. Because Krishna uses every art of the game to succeed. Rama was only Maryada Purushottam. Today society needs a blend of talent, hard work, and perhaps entrepreneurship, all the three in equal mix, not as a cocktail, but as a genuine mix. And that's what can make any Indian could grow. That's how Germany has thrived, sir. That's how American history is there. Japan is there. Japan achieved 100% women literacy in 1902. We are yet to achieve 100% women literacy. Only Kerala can claim that they have achieved 100% literacy, even up to higher education level. So education and credit, these are the only two routes to develop a country, not the government job or making them peon or line manager. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And you rightly said, sir, we need to think differently. And it is pointed out by our Honorable Prime Minister that we should come up with new ideas and we should think out of the box. So it was like a very wonderful deliberation, sir. And as moderator, I got like lot of knowledge. I'm very happy that we both are from the same place. So it is also a privilege for me. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of all the participants, all the members of our institute. And on behalf of ICSI, I would like to express my gratitude of thanks towards you, sir, for sharing your ideas, your knowledge, and sparing your valuable time for our institute, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will give you homework. Ask everybody to read a book which is known as Prosperity Paradox.
Okay, sir.
You will get a lot of ideas on how to develop Viksit Bharat. New product, new market, new consumer. That is the only way. And we have all the consumers in India. Or we sell ourselves. Thank you very much.
We will definitely read this book, sir, and it will be very beneficial for our members also to become a leader in corporate and governance sector, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Thank you very much, sir.
I will certainly say, पानी से नहाते हैं वो लिबास बदलते हैं, जो पसीने से नहाते हैं वो इतिहास बदलते हैं. You can.
Great.
Thank you very much. Over
Thank
and
you.
out.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all the participants. Thank you so much.